Has anyone never got a Christmas present before? I'm pretty sure that everyone in this classroom has got a Christmas present from somebody. It could be from your uncle, your grandparents, or of course from Santa Claus, aka your parents. However, did you know that there are some children who have never got Christmas present from Santa Claus or even from fake Santa Claus? Those children are the children who have been abused or neglected by their own parents. In America, since the law of child maltreatment is very vague and not advantageous to those children, the number of abused children just keeps growing in America. Therefore, the law should be stricter and the government should establish a new policy so that we could help and support child maltreatment problem. So today I'm going to introduce the severity and the law of maltreatment in America, and also I propose what the government should do in order to alleviate or even prevent or stop the maltreatment problem. In addition, by telling my own story of working with children, I hope you understand and realize that anyone can help and support children. So first, what exactly is child maltreatment? According to World Health Organization, the definition of maltreatment is any mistreatment or neglect of a child or children by especially parents or other caregiver. The types of maltreatment can be classified into 4 categories: emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and child neglect, which is the most common type of child maltreatment, stated by James McCarroll from Military Medicine. Child maltreatment is one of the most serious problems in America, and at the same time, it is a problem that is frequently overlooked by the government and the society. As reported by Child Abuse Statistics by childhelp.org, number of reports of child maltreatment increased from 17,000 reports in 2000 to 60,000 in 2011. And also every year, 2,000 children died and 140,000 children get injured by child maltreatment, stated by Carla Rivera from LA Times. And also, as you can see from this image, 1 child in every 10 children will be sexually abused by their own parents by the time they turn 18, which is very, very scary. So what does the American law of child maltreatment say? According to Child Welfare Information Gateway, every state has mandatory reporting those laws that require certain people to report apparent or suspected child abuse to a central authority. And those certain people in California can be teachers, physicians at school, and police officers. However, now there are 18 states whose laws require all citizens to report any suspect, all citizens with suspicion or knowledge of abuse to report it to authority. The law also states that there are penalties for failing to abuse it to authority. However, the problem is, how is the government going to find out who failed to report the abuse? How is the government going to reduce the number of reports of child maltreatment, besides the law only calling for people to appeal, calling for people to report the abuse? According to Richard Winton from LA Times, just a week ago from now, an 8-year-old boy just died from the abuse in California, even though the LA officials knew the existence of child maltreatment since years ago. It is too late to report it. It is too late to report it after a kid died. We have to report it, we have to work on it, and we have to face the problem before the kid died. If the government still overlooks the problem and cannot deal with this issue, they have to make stricter law or establish a new policy. So what should be done to prevent child maltreatment? I believe that the government should spend more time on promoting parent education programs, and more couples that are going to have a child in the future should have to go through these parenting classes. These classes will help parents increase their knowledge about parenting and children, and also teaches how to manage children and stress without abusing children. According to Lisa Shannon from North Carolina State University, parenting classes have shown recourse in reducing the risk of child abuse, and this program will change the behaviors of parents in positive ways, which will eventually improve the quality of life for both parents and children. So now let me tell you what I do to promote the child maltreatment and how I support children in Japan. Love your neighbor as yourself is my favorite Bible verse, and this has guided me to contribute to the community by supporting Aisenkai and Bothom, both Christian institutions in Japan, for abuse and neglected children. So several years ago, my mom and I started holding an annual Christmas party for such children because, as I mentioned, Santa Claus never comes to those children. So these are the pictures of my friends and I dressing up as Santa Claus. And then, as you can see, I mean, you might notice that some of the kids don't look like they have been abused. But compared with them with these two girls on the edge, they never smile. And when I take pictures, they never smile, and they always look very dark and depressed. So it is very easy to sense that they have been seriously damaged by their parents, physically and especially mentally. So when they graduate the shelter at 18, it is especially hard for them to get employed. When I conducted a Skype interview with Mr. Miyamoto, he is the head of the shelter I visited in Japan, he mentioned that a lot of kids struggle to get jobs, and I've heard of a story that a lot of girls just marry anyone just for the sake of money, and which is very sad. So in order to make it easier for them to get employed, the government need to work on it, and or even just give them an opportunity to work at some companies or some factories, and it could serve like an internship, and just give them insights, give the insights of the company as to what those children can do in the future as a worker. So now I'll tell you what you can do to help prevent child maltreatment. So first, you can post and sign the petition through ipetitions.com and spread the word. And second, you can make a donation and share it to raise awareness to prevent child abuse.org. And also, if you are interested in actually working with children, please visit children's shelter. These shelters are in California, and you can just visit and work as a volunteer to spend some time with children. So what have you learned today? In the past few minutes, I explained how severe the problem is and suggested some ideas of establishing a new policy instead of the current law that is not advantageous to such children. Today's society is very cruel, and not only in Japan and America, but also everywhere in the world. I strongly believe that we, including the government and the society, should try not to overlook the minor problem like child maltreatment, and we should be respectful of every child. Not only enacting laws, I also want you to participate and take initiative to support children and raise awareness. If you are really interested in working with people, please do. And if you don't know what to do, please ask me. But I suggest you to become children's first contact.